Hey everybody, welcome to the HIT.OR.DIE podcast, episode 82, World Series recap. Dodgers are your 2020 World Series champs.
Yay!
Shout out to Gamboa.
And Dodger fans.
Well, some Dodgers fans out there. You know who you are. But Gamboa is with the Dodgers.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, he was, I think,
And Chet Allison,
when he was born, I think his blanket was a Dodger blanket. So,
and Chet, right?
yeah, but Gamboa is a diehard Dodger fan. Like, that's why I'm just
I got you.
And I mean, a lot of your friends, you have friends that are Dodger fans, but me, I don't really have a lot of close friends that are Dodger fans. So, but Gamboa is with them, through it all. Obviously, on the CBHS preps, he's not getting a ring. They weren't on the team, so you guys.
I forgot about that.
You guys need to figure it out.
I mean, it's 100% troll, though.
Yeah. That's all they do is troll on there now. It's not even good content anymore.
I did like the last one. I went on there this morning actually, and it was somebody has about your first experience at a Major League Baseball game. I thought that was pretty cool.
But I was reading some of those, and I almost questioned some of that.
Yeah, I guess. We need to make SinCal Preps great again.
Oh, yeah, SinCal. I said CBHS. That's what it used to be back when it was good.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes they're funny. I'm not going to sit here and lie. Sometimes they make me laugh.
Yeah.
The getting the names wrong and like still seeing people go correct them.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. But yeah, the Dodgers are 2020 World Series champs. It kind of unfolded for the Dodgers pitching wise how I thought it would. I knew that Alex.
You knew Wood would be in there.
I knew it.
He said it.
He actually pitched really well.
Probably should have started.
Yeah, I probably should have started. Come on now. I think you got to tip your cap to the Rays.
You have to.
Yeah, excellent ball club. They just didn't have enough. Didn't do enough.
No, they had enough.
You think so?
Enough got taken out in the 6th.
Well,
we'll get there. But,
yeah. I think there's a new star. I think a Rosarena, made a lot of fans.
Yeah.
Hopefully
it keeps going.
Yeah, hopefully it continues. That's a great story. He was seeing the ball as big as me, probably.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch. Super athletic, good on the bases, just a fun player to watch. I'm excited to see him going forward. And again, the Dodgers kind of went to like a bullpen game, and we'll get into it more. But they were outstanding, really.
They were.
But yeah, congrats. My phone was going off for like 2 hours after.
I'm sure it was. Nobody bothered me.
Nobody, like everywhere. But it was fine.
The only ones that bothered me and you were some Giants fans.
Yeah.
in our that group text.
Some of the Bush League guys, yeah, we love them though. Always love those guys. But getting into Game 6, the Rays starter Blake Snell was, and I had a ... fill in the blank, and you name it, he was it. It was excellent. It was dominant.
He was the fucking Terminator, bro.
It was. It was pretty impressive. That first inning, I was like, "Whoa!"
I'm not gonna lie. I actually watched this game, and I haven't been watching any of the World Series.
So you're to blame. You're the reason.
I'm definitely not the one that took him out in the 6th, so I'm not to blame.
Before we gotta say Sussdorf too.
Yeah,
and he was classy about how he handled that. I gotta tell you, Suss, you were and good for you and your boys. I didn't want to leave you hanging. But sorry, you were talking about watching the game, and
I mean, it was just like, bro, these guys they can't even touch him.
Yeah, they weren't even
he was making the Dodgers look ridiculous. Like they had no idea it was coming. They were swinging at terrible pitches. I mean, great pitches for a pitcher.
Right, pitches, yeah.
But they were going outside the zone, which they haven't done the entire postseason, not just the World Series. the entire postseason. And even down 3-1 to the Braves, they weren't doing that.
No.
You know, they just weren't getting hits and timely hits and stuff. So Snell, like, just I would have let him go until the game was not either tied or in the lead.
Yeah,
I mean, it was disgusting what he was doing to them. And the 2 hits came off. One was a slider that he even said he left up,
bad pitch,
and a curveball as well. So,
but no stress pitches.
No, 73 pitches.
He didn't even look like he was. I don't know if he was sweating or not. I'd heard a couple people comment on that. Like, he hadn't even broke a sweat yet.
No, I mean, it's 73 pitches, and like, this dude is a Cy Young Award winner. He's your dude. Like, he's your horse. Like,
well, what is a starting pitcher for? Right?
Like,
what is their job?
Supposedly, well, you know, I know it's different in the big leagues, but I know in high school and college, your Friday, Saturday, Sunday guys, those are your 3 best pitchers on your team. If they weren't, they wouldn't be your Friday, Saturday, Sunday guy. You know? So if Jake or if Snell's your Blake, if he's your guy, he's supposed to have your best stuff. And he did have his best stuff. And I get the whole analytics and information and going through the lineup, but there's got to be a point where it's like Mookie, Seager, and Turner all looked terrible. Not even just them. The whole lineup.
At that point,
terrible.
they were 0 for 6 with 6 Ks, right?
Yes.
And I think they were saying Mookie was versus lefties on the year like 216.
Yeah, this year it was terrible. It was not even close.
With a lefty.
And Seager's a lefty.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. What did the numbers say? And he said after it was, you know, it was the 3rd time through the lineup, and I'm thinking, well, maybe what did your eyes tell you though?
Right?
Like, I get the script, right? The A, B, C, D. Here's your script.
Yeah.
But is there any in-game measurables at some point? Like, I've done it. I've been a part of games where I can vividly remember this. We played Sanger, and we had to play him at Madera South, and they had that lefty, and he owned us. We could not touch him. Mm-hmm. It was like 3 or 4 nothing, and they pulled him in like the 5th.
Yeah.
Remember? And we were like, "Uh-oh, we got a shot now."
No, he was like,
and I think we ended up winning on a walk-off.
He had like 40 pitches. It was ridiculous.
And I don't know what the circumstances were, if he was, you know, if he was hurting or if they were, you know, who knows. But I'm just saying.
But even as coaches, it's like,
yeah, we got excited. We got a shot because he dominated us.
And that's exactly how the Dodgers.
And I texted you.
Yeah.
Dude, that is the one thing that bench is probably like, yes.
The game is over. Once Snell walked off the mound, that whole dugout was like
dejected.
Yeah, it's over. We won. We just won the World Series. We've faced the bullpen already. How many times? All these dudes coming out of the pen. We've faced them. We've seen everything they have. You know, that just. I mean, you faced Snell once, but you didn't face that Snell.
No, he had all 4 working. He was something to watch last night.
He was a Cy Young Award winner.
You know, I think the umpire I thought was kind of brutal, to be honest. Bigger zone, which probably helps him even more.
Yeah.
You know, he can expand a little bit more. I don't know. I don't get it. And I've heard, like Tim Kirkshin say, there's a video floating around of there were more innings pitched by relievers than there were starters.
Yeah. And I mean, there's one thing about knowing the information, but people got to understand that call is on Cash. Like, he has the information in front of him, and he's the guy that goes off the information a lot. That's why the Rays in the past years that Cash has been there, they've utilized their bullpen more than not out of a lot of the major league teams. So he goes to the numbers a lot, but I feel like when you're in the World Series and it's game 6,
it's
do or die.
There is no tomorrow unless you
and
win
the
today.
Dude on the mound is absolutely dealing.
Well, and he's done.
Yeah, and he's not throwing tomorrow. Back. You kind of just have to go with it. At least finish the inning.
I would rather be questioned for riding him too long than what happened last night, especially if he's my number 1.
Yeah.
If he's my ace. Speaking of Gamboa, if I've got Gamboa in the game, Okay, and we had this against Central and Colton Eastman a couple of years ago. And I don't know if there was pitch count then or not, but I can tell you that Prieto wasn't going to pull Eastman until his arm was going to fall off, and we weren't going to pull Gamboa.
Yeah.
And if we got questioned for leaving him in too long, so what? I'm going to win or lose with my best guy out there.
Yeah.
And when my best guy is looking like the best guy,
and the pitches we're talking about like 120. We're not talking about.
Yeah, I'm not doing.
We're not talking about outrageous pitch counts.
No, they're not going 10 innings. They're not going to use all their limit. I'm just saying, I would rather him be said, well, you maybe left him in a batter or two too long. Oh well.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 2-1. Because that's the other thing, right? And that's why I want to make sure we give credit to the Dodgers bullpen. The Rays didn't do anything offensively.
No.
They ended the game with back-to-back backwards Ks.
Yeah, that was terrible.
It's not very competitive. So, you got to credit the Dodgers bullpen too. I just thought, and there's no guarantee that if Snell stays
that
in,
helps.
Sure,
the bullpen.
Yeah,
coming in with a 2-1 lead now.
I think Snell gets, let's say he gets out of that inning. He's at 80 pitches, maybe a little bit or more. Yeah. He's getting into the 8th inning.
Has to be. It's hard, dude. And that's where it's like this. It bugged me when people were saying that this is coming from the front office, because it's not. It's not coming from the front office.
The script and the numbers that they use. Yeah, I'm sure there's.
But that's not coming from the front office.
Not in game.
But no, that's not. The front office is not going over game plans with Cash.
There's a group of people that are breaking down all this data.
Yeah, the information,
and they're creating a script.
Yeah, but they're not. But they're doing that with Cash and the coaching staff. They're not doing that with the owners.
I'm
There's
nobody. I'm not saying that either.
There's nobody up top that's telling Cash what to do. That's not happening. The coaching staff have the analytics and information guys that give them all the information, and then they go from there with the information. So Cash is the one that, like I said, has gone on with the information, and he's been very successful with it because their bullpen has been good. But then again, their bullpen has thrown a lot of innings. It just, it just sucks, because that's what they're going to be remembered for, is that decision right there, rather than how good they really were.
Does that lose the series though?
Yes. 100%.
That's the. But I'm saying there's no guarantee that they win that game either way.
Oh yes, there is.
You think so? You think it's guaranteed?
Just being in, playing in big games, and like championship games, bro. When the pitcher's dealing and he's still dealing, your mindset's a lot different as a hitter. Like, these are big leaguers too. Don't tell me they're not thinking the same thing. They're thinking Snell needs to get out. We need to get him out of the game. How are we going to get him out of the game? Because they weren't going to get him out of the game by facing him, because he already had their numbers. They weren't going to make the adjustments the third time around. I just don't feel it. The way the second at bats were, they were terrible. It wasn't even like they made an adjustment from the first at bat. You know what I mean? So that is a factor. And then say Snell's still dealing. Who's saying the Rays don't come up, and maybe that hurt the team?
Right.
Maybe taking Snell out, like, the guys were actually like, what is going on? And then ball in the dirt, and then ball in the dirt, and then
double
run scores, and then Mookie makes a great read at third base on a ground ball at the first baseman. How do you not make that play?
Right. How
do you not come get that play and throw him out at home? That was a baseball play by Mookie, but he should have been out. That's why you play in.
Right.
So now mentally the momentum just completely 360'd or 180'd, whatever it is, whatever.
Well, and they have life. Yeah, they have life. They're
and now the Rays are down. That's what it is. That's what I'm saying.
And you've got 6 outs, 7 out, or 9 outs left to get. Yeah. I don't want to say it's a guarantee.
It's not a guarantee, but
yes, you're in a much better spot. I'm
just saying, of the games that I've played in, I have that feeling of a player. Like when I'm watching a game like that, I still get that in my body. Like when I just feel the momentum shift and how that goes. Like
I didn't see the whole interview. I wonder if he asked, would he like to go back and change?
Well, my thing
that
is
decision?
too is like the decision was made when he walked out of the dugout.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you go talk to your boy? Why don't
maybe whatever Rays
why don't you
fans
look into his eyes and see what he's made of?
Well, and there was no conversation. He
He walked out and went boom. There was nothing. Dude, the dude was dealing.
Yeah. No, he said it too. He in his interview, he talks about how he felt he was dominant. It's the best stuff he'd had in a while, and he was prepared. He was, how he scouted, and that's stuff that's not measured in their numbers.
Yeah.
This guy was he equipped himself with what he needed. Those numbers don't show that.
Yeah, and maybe Snell's throwing a completely different game, so the numbers don't match up. You know what I mean? Maybe the numbers match up with what he threw in game 2, or you know what I mean? Now he's like, okay, well, I got to redo how I'm going to throw these guys and figure it out. I mean, there's so many factors that we don't know about as fans or people that just watch the game.
But I've seen a lot of good people last night, and people that I would take their word and think that they're wiser baseball men than I am, that also agreed that, hey, that was not the right decision.
Yeah.
We can't all be wrong.
No. I mean, you got Hall of Famers, and I mean, there's got to be that's where people, this game is so awesome, but yet people get caught up in things. Like, people are caught up in the new. All right. So the new is like the gadgets, the gizmos, the information, like all that stuff. When there's a lot
which has a purpose
yes,
and a role, 100%.
Exactly. But then you get so caught up in that you don't take a step back and be like, okay, well, what kind of adjustments is this guy making? What is he made of? How confident is he? Is he, he's got that swag going on. He's got that look. Like, you can't get numbers off of that. There's no analytics or data that has that, Like I said in the car, Snell took his nuts and threw it all over the Dodgers' face while he pitched.
It's graphic.
So,
and what I go back to,
that's just dropping them.
I go back to a few years ago, and it reminds me of, and this is how I see it even more so today, the Royals. Their starters at one point the year they won the World Series only needed to get to the 6th.
Yeah.
Because they were 7th, 8th, 9th, set up, done. And they were unhittable. And it seems like that's just it. Now it's everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody. And maybe that doesn't work. I think the Indians, there's a couple teams that like to push their starters a little more.
But how many Cy Young Award winners did the Royals have starting for them?
I'd have to go 0.
How many dudes?
Like big name guys, 0. I don't
like
remember.
Snell's a Cy Young for a reason.
They may have. I don't remember.
No, and I'm not trying to.
I just remember they they would get to the middle innings and their bullpen was set up to where they had the big 3 and it was unhittable.
Yeah. No, and I'm not taking that away, but I mean,
it just doesn't have to be everybody's script.
I mean, if he's throwing a no-hitter, do you leave him in? I mean, the script says no. The script says no.
If that was a game in June,
yeah, of course. But I mean, it doesn't matter.
He's throwing a 2-hit shutout in June in the 6th. Do you take him out then?
No, you don't.
So why would you take him out in Game 6 of the World Series?
At 73 pitches, you don't in June.
So that's why I'm saying we can't all be wrong. He's going to take heat because it was Game 6 of the World Series.
And I agree with a lot of people, too, that Snell's probably not going to be there next year. This wasn't the first time that Snell's been unhappy with being taken out of the game. I mean, what starting pitcher wants to be like, yep, I'm a 6-inning guy? you can't tell me there's one starter in the big leagues that doesn't want to throw a CG every time they go out there.
I would agree with that.
Like, I can't wait to get to our bullpen today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, guys, are you ready?
Yeah.
I might make it through the 5th today.
Yeah. I'm thinking 5, so be ready.
So, I mean, that's just where it's like, and trust me, when we had Hefner on and off the air, he changed my mind a lot about the analytics and information stuff, but there's still a point where even if you're coming to the plate and you're not that dude, the numbers say you're like 0 for 10, right? But you know what? I have a gut feeling that you're due and you have that look in your eye that you can't get out, and I believe in you that you're going to go up there. You can't put that on paper.
No.
There's no statistics for that. That's a gut feeling. That's a human being feeling. And sometimes you have to go with that. That's like you going 4 for 4 with 4 homers and your 5th at bat. It's like, well, when you come up the 5th time, you're automatically going to strike out. So I'm just going to take you out of the game.
We're going to pinch hit for you.
Right? It's almost like that. Like, that makes no sense. The dude's feeling himself. Let him feel himself. And if Mookie comes up and hits a 2-run jack, you're down 2-1.
Yeah. I agree. Like I said, I would rather be questioned for leaving him in too long.
But I guarantee you Mookie wasn't going to hit a 2-run jack off Snell.
Probably. I mean, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say no, but yeah, I would lean towards, yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
They did not want to see him in the game.
No. That's what I'm saying. It's just like, I've been there. The dude comes out, you're just like, let's go.
Well, and they brought in Anderson, he struggled.
Yeah.
Like, and his numbers the last 2 years, that doesn't mean shit right now.
Hey, it's always, what have you done for me lately? That's what I learned, and I learned it the hard way. What have you done for me lately? I don't care that you were,
Yeah. No, and listen, I was happy to see guys like Justin Turner get the, and
let's talk about the COVID thing.
That story
Where's the protocol?
sucks.
Where's the protocol?
Well,
that's what I want to know. Hold up. No, hold up. They have, this is, and I'm just trying to be realistic with the protocol, okay? Because there's no way that he took a test and didn't have it within 15 minutes.
No,
I don't know what
I think
is.
He tested positive, and what I'd heard was he tested positive again to make sure it wasn't a false positive, and that's when he was taken. I'm not 100% sure
But that
on
still doesn't make sense to me, because the way they can do things now is it can be done in 15 minutes.
I don't even want to comment on it because I haven't really looked into it too much. That's kind of something I'd heard, but he did go back out on the field.
Well, I mean, he was obviously positive the whole game and pregame and whatever it was. So he was around everybody. So I know the guys didn't care that he was out there.
After the game, Mookie Betts, there's an article of him defending Turner to come back out on the field.
Yeah, which he should have.
There was people in the organization that said, we're not going to do that to this guy.
I don't disagree with that at all.
But I listened to some specific people on ESPN this morning that just blew him to pieces. And not that I'd take ESPN with a grain of salt, to be honest with you, but they were, I mean, all of them. And they had, Jessica Mendoza on and Max Kellerman, and they were.
Hey, Max, are you going to stay in the dugout and not go out?
And Jessica Mendoza brought up a point about, putting herself in his shoes, and she's won a gold medal. And I'm thinking, if they told you couldn't go out there and get your gold medal, what would you do?
Yeah.
What would you do would you go back out there?
Heck yeah, I would.
Because
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Even if I was in the dugout, once that last strike was, I would have just ran out on the field with everybody. I would have done that anyways. Because what are you gonna do? The season's over. What are you gonna do to me now? You can't do anything to me now.
I guess that's a good
You're going to
point.
find me some money? Oh, great. Here's some money.
Here's a check.
Find me some money. Like, what honestly are you going to do to me?
Yeah.
Nothing. I've been around all these guys the whole day, and I'm supposed to be positive. Like, so that's where I'm kind of like, he should have just whatever. If you took him out in the 7th, you might as well just let him play the whole game. I mean, he was positive the whole time anyways. So if you're not going to do the protocols correctly, then you shouldn't even take him out.
He was still at the ballpark, right? Why wouldn't he leave the ball? Why would you make him leave the ballpark then? Isolate him.
Yeah. So and that's where it's like, that's where I'm mad at, and that's why I love Manfred getting booed the whole time he was talking, and at the end of
He sounded like he was on something heavy there.
he was pissed.
Well, did you hear him giving the the MVP trophy?
No.
He sounded horrible. Oh my God.
Speaking of MVP,
Corey Seager and
Trinity Bat user. So shout out to Trinity Bats. The best in the game.
That's right. And it's been fun to.
Hey, the last 2 years, Gavin Lux is a guy, and then last year's World Series had Howie Kendricks. So
yep, doing work at Trinity.
Trinity's won the last 2 World Series, and I could say that literally because Seager pretty much won the World Series.
And so getting into the MVP, I mean I don't think there's a question on it. And I heard some people say that Best was a possibility. I think for the pitching side of it, Urias was
lights out.
I think they said 4 wins and 1 save.
Well, in the whole postseason.
In postseason.
Which him and Bumgarner are the only ones that do that.
He was outstanding. And I think, again, Roberts made the right decision to keep him in there in the 9th. And, he went
with the gut feeling. It didn't matter what the numbers were. This dude's shoving.
Yeah.
This dude's shoving.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's where I think Roberts has learned in the past.
I want to say it forced him to throw in some pinch hitters too, right? It was Cash. He went
with Brissard or
Brissot.
Yeah,
like
and then
Adames was already in there, but
yeah. I was pissed.
He had.
I texted you right after that. How are you not looking fastball? You think this guy?
Had a tough
you
series.
think this guy doesn't want to throw a fastball by you in the game?
Had a tough series, man. And Zunino. He was like 0 for with, like 0 for. I don't even know the number, but it was like a lot of it was all strikeouts pretty much.
Yeah,
tough, man. And that's what I meant when I said they didn't do enough. They just didn't do enough to win.
No,
and you look what the Dodgers did with 2 outs. They're 2-strike hitting and what they did on the base paths, and it's kind of, you look at it and it's like they kind of dominated. Other than that fluke play in Game 4, I mean, shit, they really won 5 games technically.
No, not technically.
I know, but I'm just
lost.
I'm just saying.
A loss is a loss.
Yeah. You're right. I'm wrong there. But I'm just saying, like, they were in line to win.
Be the theme on this show.
Yeah, not necessarily. Yeah, and with the Turner stuff, going back to that, like, how do you? I know.
I don't know how you can get mad at that.
Well, there's a lot of people that may have been. I don't want to speak for them. I can only speak for me. You speak for yourself. I'm going back out there. There's video of them all hugging.
Hey, with this
like
hard,
they didn't seem that concerned.
With as hard as it is to win a championship, let alone, and people can say 60 games, 80 games. We've said it before, but after talking to Luplo and what they have to go through with their routines and being off, and like, it was probably a more stressful season in a shorter game span. And how hard it is to win a championship, I'm not missing that. I'm not missing that. I don't care. I mean, I'm sure my whole team would like to be on a quarantine for 12 weeks if we win a World Series. You know what I mean? If you went around to your team and was like, "Hey, would you guys quarantine with me if it meant we win a World Series? Would you guys all take COVID?" I'd take COVID, bro. Come on, you telling me you wouldn't be like, "Yeah, give me the COVID. Give me the COVID." Heck yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, what do you mean you don't know? Give me that ring. I'll take the COVID. 2 weeks of quarantine. We'll all quarantine together at a house party. We'll just party it up for 2 weeks. Come on now.
I mean,
that's how baseball players would do it.
I mean, again, you go look at the video and they all embraced him, and
yeah,
Barnes was like, "Come on," and he had, whatever.
Well, I mean, what are they gonna do? They were just with him the whole game, embracing him and touching him and talking to him, and I mean,
yeah, I think other people were, again, what they were saying.
Then you have to be mad at the protocol. You can't be mad at Turner
or Major League Baseball.
Yeah, you have to be mad at Major League Baseball and their protocols, and they didn't get it done.
That I'll agree with, absolutely.
But you can't be mad at Turner for wanting to be.
No, I'm
there.
not. I'm not.
I'm not saying
I also want to respect other people's feelings, right? Because it has.
Are we about that?
No.
Are we about feelings?
No, I'm other people's opinions on it, right? Oh. I'm not going to be a dick and say I'm right, and this is how I think that's the right
No,
way to think.
I'm not saying that, but
Other people may not have thought that's a great idea. You know, I'm going out there. If my guys are good with it, I'm going out there.
and they were fine with it.
That's the perception that I got. And when you have players coming out on record, doing interviews, defending him, is it a story at that point anymore?
No, it's not. The only story is why Major League Baseball took so long and did what they did. That's the only story. Because did they not want to push the game back? Yeah, he was positive. He was positive before the game.
Yes.
So technically, you either push the game back or you're supposed to not play. And you're supposed to, and they track who you have been around.
Right.
They're not supposed to play either.
Right.
Right? I'm just saying.
I mean, yeah. I'm
just
laughing
saying
because
protocol.
Is it a forfeit? Or you going to give him a week
No,
off?
it's not a forfeit.
Give him a week off and bring Snell back?
You have to. You can't just forfeit the 2 games. And lose the World Series.
I'm
But yes, if that's protocol,
joking.
Guess what? We're off for 2 weeks. It is what it is. That's
Do you
protocol.
think I wonder if the Rays had that information? They had to have.
No, there's no way they knew he was
If they
positive.
had a positive test before the game, shouldn't they have to report that?
You would think.
That's what I'm saying.
If I'm the Rays and I know he's positive, you think I'm going to let him play?
Yeah.
You think I'm going to let Justin Turner play?
That's what I'm saying. Did they have
Dude, he's
that?
just been hitting jacks off us this whole World Series.
Did they have that information?
Obviously not.
And should they have?
Yes.
Okay.
He should not have been playing, along with whoever he was around and the protocol. This game should not have happened.
Woo.
But it happened, and it's over.
So,
Whatever.
yeah, it's done.
Hey, I'm not taking that away. If
No,
people
and
out
I don't-
there,
yeah, that's why I
I'm
don't
not
want it to
taking
come
it away
off
from the
that way.
Dodgers.
I don't want it to come
I'm
off
just
that
saying, that if you're going to do protocols the whole season, then they shouldn't have changed. And I'm not saying they should have forfeited either. I'm just saying the protocol should have happened. You
just
should have pushed it back and done what you're supposed to do. Whether you piss people off or not, because now you're pissing more people off by not going through protocol.
But maybe part of that protocol and took the steps that they did do. Like, okay, he tested positive. Because I know, like, NASCAR had a driver test positive. In football, they've done it, and then they've done multiples after that. And if they had 3 positives or something like that, then it was quarantined or just to make sure it wasn't a false positive.
Yeah, but they're testing
And
you when you get to the ballpark.
To my understanding, that's how it worked out.
But they're testing you when you get to the ballpark.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
don't know 100%.
The way they test these guys, because they have to test them every day or every other day, they're knowing within 15 to 30 minutes.
I haven't checked any of the stories this morning, so I'd have to see if there's even a bigger story. It could be nothing. We could be just flapping our gums over here about nothing.
Hey, whatever. All I know is if you got to go by the protocol, it is what it is. But if I'm Turner, like I said, I would have been out there on the last out even. I would have just said, I would have been out there. F you guys. I'm going.
Come get me.
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
I hear you.
That's what, you know what I mean? It's like, what are you going to find me? Find me, dude. I just made, $350,000 on the World Series anyways, or however much the World Series would have been. Extra cash in my pocket. And I just made more money because we won the World Series. See, that's what people don't know. They make money for the making the wild card playoffs. They make money for the NLDS. They make money for the NLCS. Then they make money for the World Series, and then they make money if you win the World Series, and you get like a freaking $150,000 ring, if not more. So I mean,
speaking of rings,
find me.
A former player that I've had who's a current coach, Matty Borges, shout out. He posted something on Twitter that and I believe he's a Dodger fan. Should David Price get a ring?
I don't know. I kind of say no.
I said no, but I was on the fence. Like, he's on the roster, right? I mean, but he also didn't really contribute to any innings in the season.
That'd be tough ring. Like, obviously you want one, but you having that ring, how tough is that to like look at that ring and know you had nothing to do with it?
I'm there.
Like, I couldn't. It'd be like, hey, you want to see my World Series ring? Yeah, I wasn't there though. I didn't play the whole season. Like, It's just weird.
And
but trust me, I'd still want one.
No, I'm on the fence with it, and I like David Price. He's that's hard.
I think my decision would be different if it was like Kershaw that opted out. And he's been there forever as a Dodger. but Price has been there. He was there just last year.
Yeah, because I don't want to. I also don't want to put these guys out for making a choice to, put their families first.
Yeah, no. And I'm not saying that either. I think the people opted out were, you want to opt out, you want to opt out. That's fine. But,
so in that respect, maybe he does deserve one. It's
sure.
Who knows? We'll see what they do.
I mean, we're handing out trophies anyways to everybody, so might as well. I mean, little Johnny gets one for every tournament he's in.
And the other one I saw was, and I probably should have left it alone, but I didn't, was some Kershaw GOAT talk. And it's funny because I
mean, he's not even the GOAT with the Dodgers.
That's a good point. But I mean, he is.
I mean, when you think of the Dodgers pitching, I'm sorry, Kershaw's not number one. You got Oral Hershiser. You got Fernando Valenzuela. You got Koufax. And that's nothing against Kershaw. And maybe because he's playing now. But
I mean,
to say he's the GOAT is not correct. To say he's one of the best to ever do it.
Well, and he's got still
100%
time.
accurate.
He's still got years to go. That was my point was.
Yeah.
Right. I said that,
well, you said Maddox had more wins than he does starts.
He has starts. And I think I saw Kershaw's got like 175 wins in 13 seasons. And the guy's an animal. I would take him on my team.
Yeah.
In a heartbeat.
He'll be a Hall of Famer.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
But he's not the GOAT.
No.
I mean,
and it's probably, and the funny thing is, people are saying he's the GOAT when just like, what, game 6 games ago, you didn't want him to start game 1 of the World Series. So it's like, make up your mind, damn it. Like, do you like Kershaw or you don't like Kershaw? Like, is he your favorite,
I was happy for him.
It out. I'm very happy for Kershaw.
I think he's outstanding. I've always been a fan of his.
Yes.
And I like Turner. I like their team. They're a good team. Yeah. But
we've said that.
I just didn't. I mean, I don't think Kershaw would put himself in that category. He even said last night, like, Bueller, this is the new horse. This is the horse. And you got to give a guy like that respect. And I did mean it to be disrespectful. You're
just throwing out facts.
Put it in perspective. That's
throw out facts.
I think I saw. Maddox ended his career with like 109 complete games. Or
that's never gonna happen again.
I forget. I had the numbers somewhere. It was
got to be more than that.
I don't know. It was a lot.
Got to be more than that.
But that's all. Most Gold Gloves by a pitcher. He had 18 Gold Gloves, but that's all. I just put it in perspective. I'm glad the Dodger fans should be happy.
Yes.
Don't let people trigger you with the 60 or 70 game season stuff. It is what it is.
I mean, the Dodgers have the most World Series championships with less than 162 games, so that's something to be proud of.
Yes.
Facts, bro. Facts. Hey,
he wants the smoke, so just give it to him.
I don't even care because guess what? You guys won a World Series. And congratulations. You were the better team. And you guys should have. You were. I said that. I've said that since day one. How good they are.
Yeah, I don't want to.
I mean, I don't. You won the World Series. There's no asterisk. There's no whatever. Everybody played the same amount of games.
Right. And everybody again had a chance.
But now you got it. You got your World Series. So let's come out and just the Astros beat your ass in 17. Let's just be honest. Let's just say it. You got your ring, okay? You guys might have cheated too, but didn't get caught. It's just it's just. Not this year, but, in past. I'm just saying it. I'm coming out and saying it. The Astros will be back next year. Watch.
Oh, my God.
Astros-Dodgers World Series 2021.
I would love that. What sucks is for the Dodgers fans is they would win it in a pandemic where people are going to always question the validity of it. They didn't get to win at home in Chavez. They don't get to have a parade. They don't get any of that stuff. I don't know. So maybe fans that don't like the Dodgers, that's a little bit of a win, yeah?
I guess.
I mean, the Giants got to have all that stuff, right? The Giants fans that are...
They'll have it. Watch. Once it's over, they'll have it. They'll do their thing. They should. But, I mean, I'll tell you one thing. They're going to get it popping at somebody's house. It's going down.
Yeah,
and it should go down. They're gonna be good, man.
It was an interesting season, and I'm glad we got to see some baseball. I can honestly say that. I hate that it's shortened season. I would have liked to seen how it plays out, and I think a lot of people would agree with that. Maybe even just to get more baseball, but I don't think it negates the fact that the Dodgers are the best team in baseball. And
nope, I agree.
They earned it. They had to go through. That playoff was pretty grinding, and to deal with some of the circumstances they had to deal with, and you look at what the Marlins had to go through and to make the playoffs, Cardinals what they had to go through to make the playoffs. It was, we got to see some fun baseball. You got to see the Rays, knock out the Yankees on a walk-off in a Game 5, and the Rays Astros go 7, and the Braves Dodgers go 7. What else can you ask for?
Yeah, I just think there is such thing as running out of gas.
In a time where everything's so politicized and everybody's focused on a handful of things, to be able to turn your mind off, sometimes to just watch a game and get away from it was nice to have. And I'm, ready for baseball to come around next year and see some of these younger guys keep doing great things. And that's one thing I think we've tried to do, is not politicize any of that stuff and talk about that stuff and keep people's minds off of it.
Politics are just, they're never one-sided. So there's no point to talk about them, because either way you go, you're going to piss somebody off, and it's just not even. I'd rather just piss you off by saying the Astros didn't cheat. Rather than talking politics, because guess what? I'm not a freaking politician. I'm not there. I don't have. It's like saying the coaches don't know what they're talking about. I'm not a politician. I don't know anything that their information they're getting, so I have no room to say anything on that. So, but hey, Dodgers are World Series champs, and their fans are going to enjoy it, and
as they should,
and they should let everybody know about it. So, yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, they have a good offseason, getting some of those guys back.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens with the free agent.
Seager's got to earn some
free
money.
Agency market too, with the loss of revenue.
Loss of revenue, man.
They all took a hit.
Yeah, but they have savings.
I don't know. I know that they took a hit. I know the revenue sharing is going to be down, and all that's going to.
They have billions in savings.
We'll just have to see how some of the free agent market plays out. But again, I'll take the 2020 season we had. Congrats to the Dodgers and their fan base. As much as, again, that hurts me to say sometimes. Again,
not me. Congrats, you guys.
Trinity bat with an MVP. Back-to-back World Series.
Yep.
And awesome people, great product. Check
the best product.
That's it, man. 2020, that's a wrap on the 2020 baseball season. We'll get into all the awards, I guess, at some point. But
hopefully we'll get the Bush League crew back together for the awards
stuff.
Yeah,
we'll do something like that soon. We'll be back to our normal style of show, getting some guests on here. We got a nice D1 college coach going to have out here Monday. So be ready for that. Please get the show on iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio. On YouTube, please hit the subscribe button and share as much as you can. We appreciate all the support and everybody listening everywhere. It means a lot to us. We have fun doing this, and we've liked the interaction with everybody lately. It's been fun. I've liked the interaction with people lately. It's been fun. Again, that next show will be out Monday.
Halloween.
Halloween's
going to be Saturday. What are you going? What are you going as?
You're really going to make me do this?
Come on. Hey, Bayside. The new Saved by the Bell is coming out in November. Aren't you in it?
Dude.
What are you going as, bro?
Are you really going to throw me under the bus like that?
I'll tell you what I'm going as.
Yes. I'm going as the much heavier AC Slater. I'm AC Slater as if he gained 100 pounds.
I can't wait to see your costume. He's going to be wearing a wrestling onesie with his mullet fro.
Why in the hell would you think I would do that?
It would be awesome. It'd be awesome.
No. What are you going to be?
I'm going to be a blow-up bear because my daughter's going as Masha. So we're going as Masha and the bear.
You would.
I would what, dude? I'm sorry, our family is going together and you guys aren't. So, I mean, figure it out. My son's going to be Captain America. My wife's going to be Captain Marvel.
I'm happy for you.
You know?
Good for the fam.
Yeah.
Thanks for putting me on blast.
Bro, like I'm not going to get a picture.
That's true.
Like we're not going to take pictures
throw
of
me
it?
under the bus.
Come on.
No matter what.
I'm going to be hot as shit, bro. It's going to be so hot in that thing.
Good.
Yeah, good. Maybe I'll lose some pounds.
Good. You deserve
You
deserve to sweat it out.
I need to sweat it out. Get all this 2020 off me.
Again, Monday. We'll be back out on Monday morning with another episode 83. Happy Halloween, everybody. Be safe. Thanks for listening in. That's episode 82 of the Hit or Die podcast.
Hit or Die.